There we go. All right. So, hey guys, welcome. Listen, if you don't know me, my name is Noah McQueen. I'm the regional vice president. I own the brokerage that so many of these agents that work in. If you're new tonight, welcome. If this is your first time ever being exposed to anything related to Primerica or anything like that, like welcome. And we're going to show you a good time. I'm probably going to talk for about 30 to 40 minutes, somewhere in that range. And then tonight, if this is something that you're interested in and something that you want to do, stick around, get into one of the breakout rooms when I open them up with whoever invited you. If there's like overflow and we need other people to help out with some of that, then we will knock that out as well. And there'll be plenty of people to make sure that you guys get taken care of. So listen, tonight's gonna be fun, right? If you have questions, do me a favor, put everything in the chat. We'll get everything handled there. I would appreciate like just some, basic like ground rules, right? Let me pull up the slideshow for this, and let me get this turned on to present mode here. So guys, just be Zoom etiquette, be aware of your mute button, right? We like people to be on time. Early is on time, right? On time is late, and late is unacceptable. Mute button awareness, right? Listen, if you got to yell at a kid or you got to do something, right? We don't need to be broadcasting that to the world. So make sure that mute's on. Take notes, right? We have a saying here, and that's the dullest pencil is going to catch more than the sharpest mind. Look, plenty of us are super smart, but we're forgetful, right? Look, I take notes all day, every day during meetings, on trainings. Like you need to take notes because you need to be able to go back to that. All right. And if you have any questions, please just use the chat. That's what it's for. Don't unmute yourself unless you're actually having like a one-on-one conversation. Um, if you really, really have to, I might make fun of you a little bit and then we'll mute you back out. It'll be okay. Nobody's gonna get hurt. I promise. All right. For right now, like we're almost at 30. I was expecting a little more, but do me a favor, right? For everybody that's been here, right? Don't comment yet. If you're new tonight and this is your first time ever, can you just like throw a me in the Zoom chat and like what state you're in? Because I just kind of want to see kind of where everybody's coming in from right now, just so I can kind of get an idea. And then after that, nice. Leilani, Kaylee, awesome. Ashley, cool. Hey, listen, welcome, guys. Welcome. And then for everybody else that's been around here for a minute, so look, Ohio, South Carolina, Georgia, for everybody else, do me a favor, put what state you're calling in from. And for all those that of you that are new, take a look at where everybody is calling or like zooming in from right now, from around the country, right? You'll notice it's mostly like the East Coast, right? Southeast. There's a lot of South Carolina, a lot of Georgia, Florida, some North Carolina. That's probably like the predominant like places, but we have people in Indiana, Kentucky, Arizona out there, like all over the place, Virginia. Long story short, it doesn't matter where you are as long as you're in the country. All right. Doesn't matter where you are. We're going to talk about Primerica tonight, guys. If you've never heard of Primerica before, that's okay. I'm going to explain all about it tonight, and you're going to get to know me a little bit because it's my brokerage. You're going to get to know more about the company, and then if this is something that you think you could see yourself doing, like I said, stick around. Stick around. Look, a lot of people come into this business and they go, look, I could never do that. I've never been in any kind of like I've never done anything in insurance and finance. It doesn't matter. Does that guy right there look like he's ever done anything in insurance or finance or anything? No. Heck no, right? That guy just wants to like bring some bad people to your doorstep because that's what I used to do, right? That's what I used to do. My entire adult life I spent in the military. From the time I was 19 until the time I was 44, well, 43, I guess, right? I was in the Army, right? I enlisted, I went to West Point, I became a helicopter pilot. I spent almost my entire career inside the special operations community, right? Those black helicopters that you see in movies a lot, that was us, right? That's what we did. I never sold anything ever. I retired in March of 2025. I started in Primerica in August. Actually, you know what? What is today? Today's the 6th. Today is almost my Primerica birthday or anniversary, however you want to look at it. My 4-year Primerica birthday, right? I've only been doing this for 4 years, guys. But fast forward, right? And here's my Primerica timeline. August of 2022 is when we started, so 4 years ago. In just over 6 months, we became regional vice presidents, right? So I took the highest contract available at that time. In the next 3 months after that, 4 months, I guess, right? We had earned our $100,000 ring, right? So you get like this cool, crazy Super Bowl ring. It's kind of nice. right? Shortly thereafter that, we hit our second diamond, which means we had made 200 grand in a rolling 12-month period. And then short time after that, we hit our third diamond, and we were the fourth fastest in company history to start to be earning $300,000 a year. And at that point, you own your business, right? You get full ownership of your business. Like that means I own my code. I could sell my book of business. I could buy other codes. I could buy other books of business if I really wanted to. But that's the difference, right? You have the ability to own something here. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to set my own schedule and I wanted the ability to own something. But listen, when I started, I didn't know any of that. When I started, I just wanted a license. I just wanted something extra to put on my resume. I just wanted something extra to have in my back pocket in case I needed it with a way to make a little bit of extra money. Because that's how my buddy kind of showed it to me. And he's like, dude, come get licensed. And if you want to make some extra money, I'll teach you the business. Well, I got licensed real fast and then I made a decent amount of money, right? Who doesn't want to make a couple hundred grand in a few months? Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, right? And it sounded ridiculous to me too. But it's possible. Like that is possible. And if you're not sure and you want to see the proof, right, stick around and I'll pull up the numbers and I'll show it to you. Because everything is transparent in this business, right? Because we like competition. We like competition. So look, that's enough about me. Let's start talking about the company. Let's start talking about the company. Guys, we are the largest independent financial services marketing organization in North America. We're in every state in the country. We're up in Canada, every US territory. Right now, we have over 150,000 licensed reps across the continent. To give you some idea and some perspective, State Farm, before they let a bunch go, had about 19,000 reps across the country. They just put 7,000 of them on a furlough notice and said you can either quit or you can take about a 30 to 40% pay cut because we're going all in on AI. That's real, right? Glenn Williams, our CEO, just said a couple weeks ago, look, we will never go that direction because our value proposition to our clients is that if you need something, you call your agent. If you need something, you call your rep, which is also probably somebody you know, love, and care about. Okay. Primerica is publicly traded, guys. We are a publicly traded company. We've been a public company since 2010. That means you can go buy shares of our stock. Right now, our stock is trading over $320 a share. The company's worth over $10 billion. Massive. Okay. We've been doing this since 1977, right? We're coming up on our 50th anniversary, 50-year birthday, right? So 2027, July 27, we're going to have our 50th year anniversary convention, right? This coming February is our 50th anniversary. This number is a little bit old. We're actually closer to 6 million life insurance license or life insurance clients right now. Last year, we were number two behind Prudential in new life insurance in force, right? Most people have never heard of Primerica. Like for those of you that are brand new right now, and this is your first time ever hearing about it, have you ever heard of Primerica before tonight? Any of you guys? No, a lot of you have. Sarah has, okay. Before tonight, Sarah, before you came into the business, had you heard of Primerica? Look, I hadn't either, right? And guys, I had never heard of it because I had just never run into the right person. And we always joke, and oh, there you go. I always joke and I say, look, you've never heard of Primerica, but if I said like a good neighbor, and everybody can finish it. No one's ever gotten it wrong. And you know why they always get it right? Because State Farm spends about $1 billion a year to make sure everyone knows their name. Jake must wear some really nice khakis, right? Because that's a lot of money. Guys, we save the billion on ads and we pay agents the billion. The same kind of money's coming in. We just pay the agents to be the ad and the agent. And that's why we'll never get rid of the agents. Okay. So look, the company has won tons of awards, or I guess earned tons of awards over the last couple of decades. These are some of the big ones. The new ones that are going to go on, like the next release of this, will include Time Magazine for 2026, Best in Financial Services, USA Today, Best in Financial Services for 2026. But these are some of the cool ones, right? You start getting awards from Forbes magazine, everybody's heard of Forbes. It's kind of a big deal, right? So that's when you know you're doing something right. There's another one that's out there, Best in the Workplace for Women, and I think we're on the sixth or seventh year in a row for that award, right? Guys, there's a cool stat out there right now. Ever since COVID, our female agent license numbers have gone like ridiculous. We are outnumbered, like the men are outnumbered right now, almost 2 to 1 in Primerica. Of the 150 some odd thousand licensed agents, over 90,000 of them are women. Think about that. Over 90,000 of them are women, right? This is a very women forward, women empowering like business because if a mom, which is really like where this happens, right? You get a stay-at-home mom that wants to make some extra money. She needs to be able to do it around a kid's schedule. Where else is she going to be able to do that with the kind of flexibility and the ability to make a few $100s in a couple hours or in an hour with one client, right? And that's the crazy thing about the business. It truly is. But we're not just life insurance, guys. We truly like a one-stop like financial supermarket with home delivery. It's a cool way to think about it. Another way to kind of think about it is it's sort of like a buffet, right? It's a menu. Like let's just pull up and just see what's there. But here's really what we do. We're going to get families properly protected. That's just the right amount of life insurance for wherever you're at in your current stage of life. That's really what it comes down to, right? But life insurance is for right now, but we need to make sure you're protected now and prepared for the future. So, in order to prepare you for the future, we have to start investing. We have to take advantage of compounding and like time in the market, right? Did you guys know, or for those of you that are new, did you guys know you could have investment accounts for your kids? Did you know that? Like some of you right now that have like Miranda, how old are your kids? Like how old is your youngest, Miranda? Sarah, you didn't know? I'm gonna blow your mind tonight. Miranda, 10 years old. All right. Listen, I'm gonna stop this presentation and I'm just gonna jump over to something else because I want you to see this. Like it's that important because I think it's that powerful. Watch this. At 10 years old, the small like for anybody, the smallest like investment account that we can do is 25 bucks and 25 bucks a month, right? Do you guys like think about it? For any of you guys, do you think you could find 25 bucks a month if if it meant that your kids could retire as millionaires? Look, with just 25 bucks a month starting at age 10, your kids would have close to over $500,000 by the time they retired. And that's at a 9% rate of return. That's the market average, right? I didn't even use like some crazy compound number. Watch this. How many of you guys have kids that are like two, three, maybe one, like babies? Anybody have a baby laying around? Not laying around. You get the idea, right? But watch this. Watch this. Same money, just starting sooner. Sarah, watch this. Sarah, your baby's one. Hot diggity. Watch this. Same money, 9 year head start. All I changed was 9 years. 9 years. And your baby just became a millionaire. 25 bucks a month. Guys, that's $6 a week. That's like, I mean, that's kind of like a crappy Starbucks. That's like not even a good one, right? You left out the three extra shots of whatever. How crazy is that? Here's one more, and then I'll jump back. Listen, if you know people that are young people, right? I'm talking like 25 and under, you need to be talking to them about doing nothing but getting $25,000 invested by the time they're 25. 3 words. 25 by 25. Because watch this. If they have 25 grand in an investment account by the time they're 25 years old and they stop contributing, $0 ever again, your friend's a millionaire. That 42 years of compounding is going to turn them into a millionaire. All right, now that I have your attention, back to our regularly scheduled programming, right? Now that I have your attention, do you see why it's important that you were here tonight? Because that's what investing for the future, guys, can do for you. Look, so many people that I talk to are like, "Oh no, I like this makes total sense, man, and I will start investing as soon as I get out of debt." Does that sound like anybody that you may have ever spoken to before? Like, guys, I totally understand that, but here's the problem. If you can't figure out how to pay yourself first, you're never going to figure it out. It's not that you need to get out of debt first before you start investing. It's you need to start investing so that at some point you have enough money. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, you need to figure it out. You need to just, if nothing else, we need to open you one account and start deliberately putting $25 a month in there. It will change your mindset and how you focus on the money. Okay. And look, if that's too much, we need to figure out a way for you to make extra money. Elon Musk said it best. Look, it's way easier to save $10,000 a year if you're making an extra $10,000 a year. If I told you right now you had to carve out an extra 10 grand to save out of your current money, you'd tell me I was crazy. But if I gave you a way to make an extra 10 grand and then told you you had to save it, you'd be like, ugh, I wanted to spend it, but okay. You with me? Guys, that's it. And another Elon quote, right? You want to figure out how to make 10 grand in the next 90 days, you can only do it in sales. That's the only way. You better find something you're passionate about, something you enjoy, and go sell the hell out of it. I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you. So look at this. These are all of the companies that we have access to. Primerica is like that buffet, right? It's like a menu. Could you show somebody a menu and ask them what they wanted? Most of us have worked in fast food at some point in our life, right? You kind of just stand there and somebody comes in and looks at a menu. Well, this is a little different. You're going to go to them, you're going to sit down, and you're going to say, what do you want? Everything starts with life insurance, guys. Everything for us and for our agents starts with life insurance because one, it's the easiest license for you to get and pass and have forever. Two, it's the easiest thing to teach someone and show someone how to use. Three, it's the thing that's going to pay you the most, the fastest. It's a true story, right? But look at this, life insurance, we do investments, we do mortgages. You guys can get licensed for all of it. Everything up here is something that we call a client solution. It's a way for you to help a client get them something that they probably needed. Up here with Answer Financial, they do all of our home, auto, small business, renters insurance, more like boat, jet ski, you name it, all of it, right? You don't need to be licensed in order to help somebody with that. And depending on the state that the client is in, you can get paid for it, right? You can get paid for it like Alabama, Louisiana, Nicole Carter, like you can be getting paid right now for referring people. It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. There's actually a lot more states that you can get paid for than you can't. And most of them are in like the Midwest and West, right? And it doesn't matter where you are, it's all about where the client is. But look at all these. Like how many of you guys recognize an investment company down here? A lot of you, if you have a 401k, it's probably with Fidelity, Empower, Paychex, ADP, TrueStage, right? But those are just companies that handle like 401k stuff. We do annuities, we do regular like Roth IRAs, mutual fund accounts, money market accounts, you name it, guys, we do it. We do it. All right. I'm going to kind of go into just some of the like education stuff right now. But a lot of what we do, let me go back. We teach people how money works. In the Zoom chat, guys, do me a favor. For those of you that are relatively new, or this is your first night, when was the last time you got any kind of education in money or finance personally? High school? Maybe, right? Never. If you even got it in high school, did you even pay attention? Right? For most of us, right? We got exposed to something in high school, but we're like, who cares? I don't need that, right? If I need it, I'll figure it out. That's what most people think, right? And then you get into the real world and the real world smacks you in the mouth and you don't figure it out. And you're just trying to like hold on with both hands the entire time. So that's where we come in. Our job is to teach you about this stuff. And people are having challenges like left and right. And it's because they never got a financial education. They don't have a plan, right? And they don't have a financial professional. I just read today that Schwab, right? Schwab is forcing every account holder under a million. Like, unless you have $1 million in assets with Schwab, they are forcing you to an AI advisor agent. You will not get to talk to a person. Think about that. Unless you have $1 million in assets with Schwab, you don't get to talk to a live person. Listen, you come to me and you got $25 a month to invest, you get me. You don't get some like AI version of me. And it's never going to change. That's our value proposition. How many of you guys, if you call in somewhere and you get an AI on the phone and you just like want to hang up, you just want to hang up, or you answer the phone and you immediately like start hitting zero, like over and over, and you're like representative, representative, representative. You just start yelling it. I, listen, it drives me crazy, and like the thought that so many clients are only ever going to get an AI bot from here on out with Schwab. I'm gonna find me a list of some Schwab clients. Watch. And I'm gonna go get all of them. I'm gonna go get all of them. For real. Because they like we have to be able to help people. And people want to talk to people. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, people don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to text. They just want to do stuff on their own. No, they don't. You know why? Because if they wanted to, over half of the country would not be without life insurance. Guys, this is something that people need to be shown. How many of you before you came here had any idea what life insurance was all about or why you should even have it or how affordable it actually was? Most people don't have life insurance, guys, because well, they think it's too expensive. They might think they need it or know they need it, and they just haven't gotten around to it because they don't know who to talk to. And the other reason is that they think it's too expensive, so they're avoiding it. Just on the life insurance side, right? And look, 40% of the country, adults, know that they don't have enough life insurance. But if all they needed was an AI, wouldn't they have already fixed it? To me, that tells me that that's not what they need. They don't need an AI. They need someone to show them. And that's our job. Look, I know I said get into sales earlier. You need to get into show. That's truly what we do, guys. Look, I can't make anybody do anything. I can't make anybody buy anything, but it's my job to get in front of you and show you what it's all about. Because if I can show you what it's all about, and all of a sudden it starts to make sense for you, if I can show you enough value, you're probably going to move forward. That's it, right? That's it. But if I can cover a problem for you, I can fix it. Well, now you become a client. One of the other big things that we do, guys, have you ever heard of Dave Ramsey? Anybody know who Dave Ramsey is? Like, he's got the radio show. He hates credit cards, hates debt, that sort of thing, right? Dave has something called the debt snowball. We have something called the debt stack. It's the exact same thing, guys. It's literally just a plan on how you're going to pay your bills better. But look at this. An average American has six figures in debt. I would argue that this number is actually relatively low given the recent like price of homes increases over the last 5 years. I would actually put this number closer to three to 400,000 if you own a home because it's including mortgages, if not higher, right? If not higher. Look at this. Over 60% of people with credit card debt go deeper into debt monthly. And this is from 2023. So I guarantee you this number is probably closer to like 300,000 by now, just in the last three, almost 4 years. It's crazy, guys. But if we could help people get out of debt faster and show them a better way, don't you think they would want to know? Check this out. Almost 60% of the country would have difficulty finding $1,000 for an emergency. Guys, one of the things that we do for clients and what that we want to show them is how to set up an emergency fund. We say there's three basic kinds of accounts that everybody needs. You need an emergency fund, which is like $1,000 you can tap into right away. I mean, the amount changes for everybody. You need like an intermediate fund. That's where cash is going to go. The goal is to get 3 to 6 months worth of income into that account. And then the last one that you need is like your long-term investment account. That's the money you're going to retire with, right? And the reason we set three up is so that you never tap into the long-term one because you have these other two for like immediate emergencies. And this is the big problem right here, guys. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, for a lot of people that I meet, there's way more month at the end of the money than there needs to be. And we got to close that gap. And it's hard to close the gap out of the money that you're already making. We have to bring in more income. You have to find a way. That's why so many people right now have a side hustle, right? We live in a gig economy right now. What do you think DoorDash, Uber Eats, right? All like Amazon delivery, Walmart delivery. All of those are gigs. They're side hustles. Well, that side hustle ain't looking so great when gas is $4 or $5 a gallon. You know what looks real good? Staying home, working on your computer, and making two, three, four, $500 when you close one client. That looks good to me. And doing it around your schedule and the client schedule. That looks good to me. It's just different. You can do it all, right? You can do it all. I'm just saying it just looks a little bit different. But look, here's business 101, right? The need is there. I just showed you the need is there. Over half the country is short on life insurance alone, just life insurance, right? If you find a need and fill it, you will make money. As you show value and a client moves forward, you are making money. So think about it. Have I demonstrated in the last 15 minutes that there's a need for what we do? Guaranteed. If you guys have never heard this before, I promise you, I'm showing you right now there's a need for what we do. The financial concepts we teach are they're universal. Anybody can use it. I don't care if you've never heard of it, what I do, or you've had a financial advisor for decades. I can sit down and show you something. And the worst thing that happens is I sit down and I look at everything you've got and I say, man, you're doing great. Who do you know that's not as set as you? Because I would love to be able to help them. Guys, there's always a way, right? There's always a way. And be honest, right? Can you see why clients love us? It's so easy because we're real people. Look, I'm not gonna get dressed up in some suit because I'm meeting people. Like, guys, this is me, right? I work from home. I wear a polo most days, unless I'm meeting a client in the office and I need to put on a jacket or something. This is how you're gonna, this is me. I'm wearing shorts right now because I'm at home and I live in Florida, right? But that's how you should be running the business. Guys, listen, one of my mentors, Bill Arenders, like one of the original like OGs in the business, he said, Noah, if you've been in this business for somewhere between 7 and 10 years and you're not wearing like sweatpants in the middle of the afternoon, you're doing it wrong. And that kind of blew my mind. I said, I mean, guys, Bill Arender is a billionaire. And that dude walks around most of the time in like a tracksuit, looking comfy as hell, like a grandpa. And nobody in their right mind, looking at him from the outside, would know that that guy has 9 figures sitting in the bank account. The dude is amazing, but he's been doing it forever, and he practices what we preach, and that's the goal, right? Get you financially bulletproof. And I'm telling you, listen, the competitors and the competition to what we do, right? They don't teach clients the way we teach clients. Think about this. How many life insurance companies can you think of that are out there right now that if they sold you a life insurance policy, they're actually going to teach you along the way how to eliminate the need for the life insurance? Does that even really make sense? Not really from a life insurance business perspective. But when you think about like from our business perspective, guys, I'm a financial advisor, I'm a life insurance person, I'm licensed for all of that. My goal is to protect you now, right? Protect your liability now with the right amount of life insurance and help you start investing so that 20, 30 years from now, when you're done with that life insurance term, you're so wealthy, you just let it go. You get rid of it. You're self-insured. That is the goal. That's truly the goal. That's what makes us different though, guys, because I want to do it all for you. I don't want to just be your life insurance person. And I don't want my agents to just be life insurance agents. I want you guys to be agents and advisors. Because that way we do the full job, right? We say buy term and invest. That's doing the full job for clients, guys. So look, a lot of people have like thought about going into business for themselves. They're like, oh yeah, that'd be great, that'd be great, but they never do it. They never do it. But here's a way to think about money a little bit differently. Okay. Most of us in our lives have lived up here in this upper left corner. You go to work, you can only make as much money as hours are given you. That's it, right? You trade time for money, and in that quadrant, you're always going to be short on one or the other. Let that sink in for a second. No matter what, when you're up here, you are going to trade time for money, and you will always be short on one or the other. You know why? Because if you go up here and you keep trading all of your time for money, you might have enough money, but you'll never have enough time to enjoy it. And you're always going to feel guilty about all the time you're spending at work and not with your family. Conversely, you stop going to that job and you take a bunch of vacation and maybe you took some extra days and you didn't get paid for those. And now you feel guilty because you spent time with your family, but you don't have any more money. It's a never-ending cycle of trade, right? It's a zero-sum game of teeter-totter. And you're trapped because you can only make as much money as they're willing to give you. You're trapped, right? So then that's step one. Step two, you say, okay, well, now I'm going to move down here. I'm going to be self-employed. But look, now you just own your job. You might make more money, but you're still in this crazy trade-off of time and money. Because look, even a dentist or a doctor or a lawyer, unless they own the practice, right? Because that's where we're going next, the business owner, unless these guys own their practice, they just own their job and their income is still 100% off of one, meaning they stop working, the income stops. You with me on that? It makes sense, right? So what do they have to do? Look, dentists, doctors, lawyers, what do? They open a practice. They open a business. They open something. Real estate, they open a brokerage. Financial advisors, we open a brokerage. Now, I own the business, and inside the business, I'm teaching agents, I'm teaching them how to run their own business, I'm teaching them how to produce. They're making money, and now so am I because I own the business. Now, if I'm not working, guess what's still working? The business. And now that the business is working and I have more income coming in, what do I start doing? Now my income is also working for me. Guys, Warren Buffett said it best. If you're not making money while you sleep, you will work until the day you die. Cold hard facts, right? The Oracle of Omaha, one of the wealthiest guys ever, right? One of the most successful investors ever. He nailed it. So unless you have a business, unless you own a system where other people are working and you can duplicate yourself and you can be in more than one places at once, you're either going to work until you die, right? Or you'll be in a perpetual situation of trading time for money. So you have to find a way to move from here to here. Period. You have to, right? But what stops people from making that transition? In most cases, right? I'm actually going to jump forward. What in most cases, what stops people from making that transition in a lot of reasons, like in a lot of ways, they don't have the money. They don't have the startup cost, right? Well, has anybody ever looked at like franchising a business before? Like if you've ever legitimately looked at franchising a business, how much like capital, how much money did you need to have up front to start the business? Because it ain't cheap in a lot of situations. It's not cheap, right? We looked at franchising a froyo place, a Menchie's, if you've ever heard of that, because there was like a study done here in our area that there was there was a need, right? And it was going to cost us somewhere around 600 grand between the land, the building, the refurbishing, all of that. Well, I mean, we could have done it. I didn't really want to, but we could have, right? But that's what stops most people from opening a business is the straight up capital requirement. Most people don't have an extra six figures worth of cash sitting around to just dump into something to try. Okay. The other thing most people don't have is time because it's a massive requirement because most people are expecting to make a complete 100% shift. They're like, "Oh, well, I can't stop this. This is my income. Because if I stop this, I have no income. And I'm hoping that this is going to work." Well, guess what? Over here, you can start part-time. Oh, by the way, over here, there's no massive investment. It'll blow your mind, right? Tonight and until the 10th, licensing is only 74 bucks. 74 bucks, right? It's a hell of a lot different than 600 grand, right? And it's part-time. You can pick whatever you want. You want to be spare time? You want to be a silent partner? You want to get a license and just send a referral here and there and make a couple of $100 like mailbox money? Why not? Why not? Most people think, oh, I don't know anything about the industry. I could never do that. I don't know what's going on. Guys, I didn't know what was going on. I just copied the system. I duplicated the system. You just got to copy the right cat. Guys, look, if we made 300 grand in less than in just over 17 months, do you think I could teach you the business? Think about that. If I could teach you the business and you were even 10% as good as I was over the course of that same time frame, you're going to make over 30 grand in the next 18 months. Part-time, spare time, whatever you want, right? Look, a lot of people think there's too much risk. That's too risky. Guys, what's risky about giving something a shot for 74 bucks, getting a license that's yours forever, and having the ability to make money whenever you want? The last reason, right? A lot of people are just like they're afraid to fail because they're afraid to try. Well, look, you don't have to be afraid to try. What's the worst thing that happens? Come in, learn something, realize you don't like it. If that's the worst thing that happens, you're still going to be farther along. You're going to get an education in money and finance that you didn't have. What are you out? You're out 74 bucks? Guys, I've wasted $74 on like, I mean, heck, this past weekend we went to Dave and Buster's. Y'all ever been there? That place is not cheap. And I swear they just raised the price of every single one of them games. I'm never going back unless it's Wednesday and it's like half price game day, right? Period. I ain't. I'm just not going, right? We're going, kids will skip school. We're just going to go on a Wednesday if they want to go to Dave and Buster's. Otherwise, it's not worth it, right? But look, there's no risk. You're not risking your career. You're not risking like losing anything. The bigger risk is not trying and staying stuck where you are. That's the bigger risk in reality. Because, and I heard something the other day, right? And I shared this with the team, and it was what you don't change, you choose. And look, I don't know what that means for you tonight in your situation, but for me, when I heard that, it was, man, like that one hit me like a ton of bricks. And it really convicted me because I knew there were some things we needed to change just like internally, and we're doing that. And it's totally different because look, you have a choice. You have a choice, and it's stay where you are or at least take a step and take a leap of faith and improve. Because if somebody invited you here tonight, they believe in you. If somebody invited you here tonight, they wanted you to at least see that there was a different way to try, right? Just a different way to try. And so look, this is the normal, right? The normal licensing cost is 124 bucks, right? So it's 99. That's your business application for your license, your background, everything that you need to do for your state exam, state license, fingerprints, you name it. And then 25 bucks monthly is all of your like technology, right? It's everything that you need. It's your app on your phone, it's your website, it's all of the web-based software that we use. It's everything that you need. Oh, by the way, we also give you all of your investment licensing for free. As long as you're an active agent, just get started, right? I don't want you to do it before your life insurance license is complete because you need a way to make some money. Then you start moving into that. But listen, like it's crazy. Like literally right now until the 10th, 74 bucks, guys. 74 bucks. And I wanted to give some time for some questions and for you guys to have some time for the people that invited you. So what I'm actually going to do really quick is I'm going to stop the presentation and I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. I'm going to stop the recording. But for all of the trainers and everybody that invited someone tonight, guys, there's rooms that are out there with your names on them for the trainers and the people that invited everybody. Trainers, please go to those rooms, and then that you can just wait for people to come in. For those of you that have been around for a minute, you can stick around with me. We'll let everybody go to the rooms, right? For the trainers, and then everyone else can stick. If anybody has questions, please like right now is the time for any questions if you have questions of me. If not, though, I would really love for you guys to go link up with the people that invited you and have some of that one-on-one time, see if they can answer any other questions for you. And I mean, if you're interested, guys, they can knock out your business application tonight and get you going while it's still cheap. Like if it's something that you think you want to do, let's save you 50 bucks and let's just see what happens. Right? So I'm actually going to remove the spotlight from me so I can see everybody a little bit better. But is there anybody still left here that is new, or is everybody here somebody who's been with us for a hot minute, or at least a minute? I think everybody's here has been with us for a minute. So I'm just looking at the names real quick. Ashley Soto, are you you're okay, you're new as of like today, I think, right? Okay, I think that's everybody. CF. CF, did you come? Did somebody invite you today? Alyssa, did you invite her? Allison, you're new. Okay, cool. So I mean, CF, if you want to jump over into the breakout room with Angela, that's probably the best place. I mean, Alyssa, you're free to go with them too, if like that way CF has a friend. You like take her with a buddy. And then Allison, did you stay? Did you go? Allison, who invited you? Um, Sarah, if you want to go to the breakout room, that's totally fine. Right, guys, if you invited somebody and you want to go to the breakout room to your trainer with them, I'm totally cool with that. Right? Totally cool with that. So go for it. Let's see. CF, can you hear me? Maybe. Purple, maybe. I'm actually gonna stop the recording.